What is the financial cost to become an indie game developer? How much do you have to spend to even get up and running? I've had a lot of people reach out to me with this question, saying things like, I don't have a good computer, I've been told I need at least a 3070 graphics card. So in this video, I want to talk about this topic, and I'll even open up my computer and share with you my current system specs that I use for all my video editing and all my game development, and it might actually surprise you. Game development as a craft is a highly diverse landscape with, equally diverse tools and requirements depending on what you're trying to do. If you're working on a big budget game or trying to run Unreal 5, for instance, yes, you're probably going to need a pretty beefy system. I recently tried to run Unreal 5 that came out with the Matrix demo, and I completely failed at that, and my computer just kind of started chugging. I think I was getting like 10 frames a second, but that's fine because I'm not an Unreal developer, at least not right now. It's important to choose your tools that are appropriate for the battle you're trying to wage. And it's easy to get caught in that upgrade loop, always wanting the next generation of product, the hedonic treadmill, if you will, very prevalent in the tech sphere with phones, gadgets, cameras, and notoriously computers with, CPU generations and GPU generations always teasing us to get the latest new expensive cards. And they're not at all cheap, as many of you might know who have been trying to upgrade. But unless there is a particular task that you need those specs for, it's likely going to be wasted horsepower and, importantly, wasted money. Money that could be better spent commissioning artwork or music for your game. And I've seen people who want to get started in game development make excuses around this, where they will attribute their inadequacies in productivity to their lack of expensive tools and hardware. Oh, if only I had a 390 Ti, then I would be really pumped. I'd be really pumped to do game dev then. But now, with this card I have, this crappy 970, I just can't. It's not enough to be motivated. It's a bit like trying to make yourself thirsty by pouring a glass of water. It's asinine and backwards. No, the thirst has to be there from the start. And if it's strong enough, then you'll go to great lengths to quench it. I read a heartfelt comment on one of my videos once where the guy was homeless, and in between trying to survive, he was going to the public library to learn game development and progressing on his game in this kind of loop. So you can just imagine public libraries are not going to have very good spec computers, but he was making it work somehow. That's commitment. That is a true story of heroism. And I kind of know that hunger to some degree as well. It's both a metaphorical and physical hunger. There was a time where I didn't even have a computer, but I had an interest in programming and development. All I had was a book. I had a Visual Basic book and an ActionScript programming guide. So what I was doing, I was programming on paper, writing software, writing small games, and then going to friends' houses or public libraries or school libraries to compile it. I couldn't be too picky with the technology, but it didn't stop me. It didn't stop me from being creative and making progress. And to offer an anecdote of the converse situation, I have a friend who wanted to get into YouTube, video content creation, and he asked me for some advice. He said, hey, how do I get into this? What should I buy? Tell me the tools I need. And I told him, don't worry about the tools for now. Just use your phone, record some videos, and if you like it, then progressively upgrade to the tools you need. And of course, he didn't listen to me at all and went and bought the most expensive, spec'd out Microsoft laptop, cameras, lights, microphones. And exactly 2 years later, he has made 0 videos. And that's because having fancy, new, shiny technology and gadgets might make you feel warm and fuzzy inside for a few days or a week, but it's not going to make you productive. It's not going to be the catalyst of change that will make you hungry for pursuing your dreams and goals. It doesn't work like that. You can't put the cart before the horse. You have to have that drive first. In fact, the times I remember being perhaps the most productive and creative was when I had the most bare bones tools and systems, being constrained both mentally and physically, being forced to narrow my focus and operate within a particular confine. This is very conducive to productivity and creativity because you're not getting distracted. I'm not getting distracted by Unreal 4 or 5 because I can't use it. It's not even on the table. It's not part of the conversation, so I have to basically work with what I have, eat the food on my plate. So if you have a minimal budget You can still be part of game development, but you have to be smart and realistic about it. If you have a crappy laptop, then you're not going to be running Unreal 5. It's just how it is. But there are a lot of options. Just to name a few, you've got obviously Unity, Game Maker, Godot, we've got Construct, Hacks, Game Salad, and many, many more. If you're very serious about the game dev craft, you'll enter through any avenue you can. And people sometimes will complain about the Unity versions getting more and more bloated, taking longer to open and things like that. Well, you don't have to be using Unity 2022 or whatever. In my own project, Blood and Mead, I'm locked down to 2019 LTS, and that's where I'm staying until I launch. I have no reason to upgrade. There's a lot of FOMO people have, and they will upgrade to the latest alpha build or the latest spec, to get all the latest kind of bells and whistles, this pipeline, that pipeline. I don't need that. Now, I'm not suggesting that if you start a new project, you should be using some prehistoric version of Unity. But the avenue is there. In fact, I have friends who are very successful as game developers with Unity, and they're still using Unity 5. So don't be updating things because of FOMO. Update because you need something that's being offered in the new version that you can apply to your project. So let's talk about my current computer specs. So it might surprise you to know that my current build is 10 years old. My motherboard is 10 years old. My CPU is 10 years old. I'm running a 4770 Haswell chip. This is a very old CPU, yet I'm able to do all my game dev, all my video editing on that CPU. And GPU-wise, I started with a 770 GTX NVIDIA, and progressively upgraded to a 980 Ti, and now I'm on a 2070 RTX. This system, the way it is now, it performs very well. I'm able to play all the games I want to play. I play Forza 5 on an ultra-wide screen, so it moves the pixels around just fine. Yeah, sure, my render times could be a little bit faster and things like that, but as it stands, this system should be good for the next few years at least. And in truth, the only reason I chose to upgrade these graphics cards was because I wanted to play some VR games. And if it wasn't for that, I'd probably still be on the 980 because that was a perfectly capable card. And I feel it would be perfectly adequate for what I'm doing now as a game developer. So this combination of hardware on the second-hand market, let's say a 980 graphics card and maybe a 6 series CPU, would be no more than a few $100s. You could get up and running, have a perfectly capable computer for a few $100s that will run Unity, that will run Game Maker, Godot, and would get you up and running as a game developer. So you don't need exorbitant amounts of money and water-cooled RGB systems. But with that said, I do feel it's time for me to upgrade this system because I really want to have a look at this Unreal 5 Matrix City demo. It looks outrageous, and I really want to try it out, but this computer here is just not gonna cut it. This new system I'm gonna be building, I've already got the parts over here, so I just have to put it all together. But this system that I'm about to build is gonna last me until at least 2032. That's my plan. Another 10-year cycle. It's gonna be pretty exciting. I might actually make a video showing me finally getting into that Unreal 5 demo because it's something I've really been looking forward to. And unfortunately, there will always be a minimal requirement to get into this industry. You can't expect not to pay anything. I had a person coming into our Lost Relic Discord in the past where he was begging people to buy him a new computer. That's not going to work. You have to, at some point, save up some money and get the bare minimum that you need to get up and running. I've done so many lousy jobs in my life. I've worked in factories, I've poured beers, and all types of just kind of really uninspiring jobs, but I did them so that I could save some money so I could slowly transition into this industry and become a full-time developer. There are sacrifices to be made, and it's the only way you can ever stand on your feet. So let me know down below what you think about this topic of minimum hardware requirements for game developers and how you approach it in your own life. Do you upgrade components, or do you build a new computer every 5 years, or just generally, what are your specs, what works for you? All right, guys, so I'll see you in the next video, which might actually be a new computer build video. Who knows? Bye. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do drop a like. And thanks to all my Patreon supporters. I appreciate you guys so much.